So hi everyone, so on this lecture, we will study the plant systematics. So remember, na ito pong plant systematics, this is the science of identifying, naming, and classifying plants. So it helps us understand how plants are related and organized in the plant kingdom. So for the classification that we will cover for this topic, we'll have the fungi and the lichens. So sa fungi po, no, yung category na pag-aaralan natin ay may mnemonics na BADS, no? Para madali po ninyong ma-review. B for Basidiomycota, A for Ascomycota, D for Deuteromycota, Z for Zygomycota. Intandaan natin ang mga fungi, they are single organism and heterotrophs. Next, we have the lichens. Tandaan, ang mga lichens, symbiotic composite. So meaning, fungi plus, for example, algae. So meron silang mutualistic relation wherein they benefit from one another. Yun po yung symbiotic, no, na sinasabi natin. So i-analyze natin tong dalawang classification. But before, let us proceed first with different terminologies. So we have here classification. We also have plant systematic and then plant taxonomy. So under classification, no, we classify drugs by grouping or ordering them according to the phylogenetic relationship. So when you say phylogenetic relationship, ito po yung evolutionary connections between species or plants. So ito yung kanilang evolutionary lineage. For plant systematic, ito naman yung relationship of plants. For plant taxonomy, this is to help us identify, describe, classify. And ito yung may actual handling ng mga plant specimen. So expound din natin later on itong plant taxonomy. So ano po ba yung goal or objectives, no, ng plant systematic? What are the objectives? So una, of course, to identify. So we have identification. So paano? By comparison. So we can identify plants by comparing it with other standards. For classification, we classify them by sorting into groups and categories. Sa description naman po, we describe them, we characterize them, and then later on, we write them in a manual as a reference. Now, let us proceed with the kingdom concept. So ito po yung parang history, no? So we have Carolus Linnaeus. Please don't forget the spelling. He actually introduced the two kingdom system. Nandun sa dalawang yan ang plants and animals, no? Sessile photosynthetic ang plants, syempre. By 1866, you have John Hogg and Ernst Haeckel. They add, no, another kingdom which is Protoctista. Under doon ang protists, fungi, tsaka bacteria. Okay? And then by 1930s, nandun po yung Monera, Kingdom of Monera, and then Kingdom of Protista. Then by 1969, itong si Whittaker, he proposed 5 kingdoms additional. Basically, you have Animalia. Dinagdagan niya yung dalawa ni Carolus Linnaeus, no? We have the mnemonic A, P, P, M, F. Animalia, Plantae, Protista, Monera, and Fungi. And by 1990, nag-add again another kingdom, which is the Archaebacteria. So meron na kayong 6 na kingdom system adding Archaebacteria. It's CHAE, no? And then again, additionally yung Archezoa and Cremista. So now we proceed with the different kinds of classification. So meron tayong tinatawag na artificial and then the natural classifications of plants. So dito po sa artificial, this is based on the superficial characters which do not show or determine the relationship of the plants. Okay, so superficial. So marami tayong classification then under the artificial one. So we categorize them based on the type of nutrition na nakukuha ng mga halaman. So meron tayong autotrophs and yung na-mention ko kanina, the heterotrophs. Pag autotrophs, automatic, they make their own food. Pag heterotrophs naman, they cannot produce their own food. So they rely on other living organism. Another is based on the water requirement ng mga halaman. So we already know na we have mesophyte, no? Where in moderate lang, no, yung required amount of water, xerophyte, less amount. Hydrophyte, syempre ito yung may abundant requirement. And then halophyte, these are the plants which requires water with sodium chloride. Another category for this classification is based on the habitat, kung saan nagre-reside yung mga halaman. Syempre, andito ang aquatic, no, sa water. Then we also have terrestrial, na meaning sa land. Then we also have aerial, no, attached to the other plants po ito. Another is based on the body appearance, kasi meron pong mga halaman, may mga genus, may family na magkakamukha ng trees, shrubs, herbs, and then vines. Another is based on the lifespan. Okay, we have actually 3. Meron tayong annual. Pag annual, 1 season lang. Seasonal yung pagtubo. Biennials, ito yung may 2-year life cycle. And then kapag perennials, ito yung tumatagal na lasting for many years. Napunta tayo sa natural classification. No? So under natural, pag-uusapan naman natin dito yung natural way of classifying plants based on the levels of taxonomic classification. So para mapadali kayo, may mnemonics din akong ilagay. We have the KDCOFGS, which stands for K is kingdom, D for division, class, order, family, genera, and species. So may mga suffix po ito, no? Common suffix na ginagamit. Kapag division, suffix na ay phyta, class is Opsida, order is Alis, family is Aciae. So mga suffix po yan. So magbigay tayo ng example, no? Gawa lang po ako ng table. Bigay tayo ng dalawang plant. No? Kakategorize natin based on the taxonomic classification. Gawa lang po ako ng table. So for example, we have corn. No, corn is under the kingdom Plantae, division niya is Tracheophyta, class is Magnoliopsida, order is Poales, family is Poaceae, genera is Zea, L is Lin, and then species is Zea mays. And mapapansin natin, no, ang scientific name ay under binomial system, and the Zea mays is the scientific name for corn. Another plant sample natin ay ang sunflower. Katulad ng corn, Plantae din ito under Tracheophyta, under the Magnoliopsida, okay, but different order, no? Aster kasi yan, Asterales, Asteraceae, Helianthus ang kanyang genus, and Anus yung kanyang species. So Helianthus anus is sunflower. May gusto lang din po akong idagdag, no, na term, meron tayong tinatawag na super kingdom, which is also known as the domain. So kumbaga ito yung general classification pa. So ano ba yung mga example domain? You have the bacteria, no, meron din tayong archaea, which are prokaryotes, no? Alam natin prokaryotes are unicellular. Another is the eukarya. No, ito pong mga eukarya, they are eukaryotes, no? And eukaryotes are multicellular. Okay, now we proceed with the fungi. Fungi is from the Greek word myces, meaning mushroom. Ang study of fungi, again, is mycology. Do not forget, fungi are complex, so under eukaryotic, and it has different varieties. No, under Euchomycota. Maraming variety ang Euchomycota. Nandun ang yeasts, rusts, smuts, mildew, and the mushrooms. So let us characterize fungi. No, ang fungi po, no, they lack chlorophyll, meaning they do not undergo photosynthesis. Ang fungi, they are heterotrophs, no, but they store their own food and starch. Spore reproduction, asexual or sexual. Kapag asexual, one parent. Kapag sexual, two compatible organisms. Next, they are non-motile, meaning hindi sila gumagalaw with motion. No? They also have chitin. Ito yung component ng fungi sa cell wall. They pronounce it as chitin, but some pronounce it as chitin. Now, some fungi are parasitic, no? And they produce pheromone. Ito po yung hormone, no, na nakaka-attract sa other species for sexual reproduction. Not other species rather, but in the same domain. Now, for the classification, we have different categories here. Now, we can classify fungi based on the mode of nutrition. So, I use the mnemonics PSS. Another is based on the spore formation. Sige, pag-usapan muna natin yung based on the mode of nutrition. Meron tayong PSS. Now, P for parasitic, S for saprophytic, and the symbiotic. So, sa parasitic, they obtain nutrition on other organism. Okay, as parasite, no? Ang saprophytic, they obtain nutrients or nutrition on dead organisms. Pag symbiotic naman, I have mentioned, no, ito yung with mutual relationship wherein organisms live with other organisms then as well, in which they are both mutually benefited. Okay? So, nag-gain both party. Now, based on spore, tandaan natin ang spore, ito po yung nagsisilbing seed ng fungi. Okay? Responsible for reproduction, for spreading, and basically for survival. Okay? So, ang spore po, pwedeng na-produce either sexual or asexual. Again, no, pag sexual, merong two compatible organism. Kapag asexual, one parent lang yun, syempre. So, I have mentioned yung buds na mnemonics natin kanina sa classification. So, yun yung i-discuss natin sa part na ito. B for Basidiomycetes, A for Ascomycetes, D for Deuteromycetes, and Zygomycetes. Basidiomycetes tayo. It is actually common in mushrooms, no? Wherein, again, may asexual and sexual reproduction ito. No? For sexual, you have basidiospores. For asexual, one parent, via conidia, okay, budding, and fragmentation. Sige, explain ko itong tatlong ito. No? Asexual, one parent only ito. Pag fragmentation class, ang nangyayari, you have a parent spore, and then they disintegrate into fragments. Okay, so, kakalat. No? Pag budding naman, may parent spore ka, and then nagkaroon ng um, sproutling, no? Merong nag-sprout na bud doon sa parent spore. Okay? So eventually, madidetach yun and magiging bagong spore. Ang conidia naman po, it actually happens at the tip of the fungi. Sige, drawing ako ng example fungi, no? So sa tip ng fungi, okay, doon po naka-attach or napoproduce ang conidia, no? Na nakadikit sa conidophore. So itong mga violet po nito, yan yung conidia. Okay, they are spread by wind, water, or other organism. Yun yung asexual reproduction nila. Tandaan, it happens at the tip of the fungi. Next, we have ascomycetes, also known as the sac fungi. This can be saprophytic and parasitic. Asexual repro niya is through ascospores. For asexual is conidia or conidiospores. Tandaan lang po, no, yung mga pangalan. Deuteromycetes, aka the imperfect fungi. Bakit siya tinawag na imperfect? Because they do not reproduce sexually. And yun yung kaiba niya sa iba, no? Only asexual reproduction via conidia. Again, which is produced at the tip of the fungi. Okay, next we have the zygomycetes. Ito yung fusion naman ng two different cells. Available ang sexual and asexual. For sexual, we have the zygospores. Asexual is via sporangiospores. Sporangiospores. Okay, do not forget the names. Now, let us proceed with the reproduction of the fungi. So, we actually have three categories here. No? Meron tayong vegetative, no? Ito yung dormant phase nila. We also have asexual and then sexual. No? We have mentioned. Vegetative, dito ang budding. You have binary fission and fragmentation. So again, fragmentation, disintegration. Budding is may tumubo. Binary fission is dividing, no, into two cells. For asexual, you have conidia. For sexual example natin, andyan ang ascospores, basidospores, and oospores. So now we proceed with uses naman po of fungi. For, syempre andyan yung for recycling. They play a major role kasi in recycling the dead and decayed matter. Food, medicine, biocontrol, and food spoilage is actually a disadvantage. Now let us proceed with the lichen. Lichens are actually not single organism, no? Pero symbiosis sila, meaning dalawang organism na magkasama, mutually benefiting. So it's actually combination, no, of what we known as the mycobiont and photobiont. So again, combination po yun with mutual, no, relationship, both benefiting from each other. So ang mycobiont class, ito yung fungi part, and ang photobiont is non-fungal part. Sometimes they contain chlorophyll. Okay? So regarding sa types of lichen, we can classify them based on different categories. So such as in our lecture, we have 4 categories. Now, based on, we have growth, we have habitat, internal structure, and even the fungal partner. Kasi nga sila ay magkasama. So sa growth, we have actually 3. Meron tayong crustose, foliose, and fructicose. Now for the crustose, yung itsura niyan, flat and thin yung growth. Foliose, more attractive kasi smooth leaf-like yung kanyang growth. Fructicose is actually most important. Bakit? Thin and branch kasi yung structure niya, less limiting. Now for the habitat, we have 6 examples. No, meron tayong ligniculus sa woods, corticulus sa barks, saxiculus ay sa stones lang. Stones wala, hindi kasama yung bark. Marine, then we also have freshwater, then we also have terriculus, no, for land or soil na habitat. For the internal structure, we have 2, heteromerous and homoiomerous. No? Ang difference lang nila is yung isa layered, yung homoiomerous naman ay uniform ang internal structure. Then last sa classification or category are the fungal partners. Meron tayong examples like ascolichens, most common, basidiolichens, very rare, itong fungal partnership na ito, no? But spore reproduction. Then hymenolichens, least common, and at the same time disadvantage as sexual reproduction lang. So that's it for this supplementary lecture, no, which will aid in your review. Just be reminded, we will have a quiz next meeting. Thank you for listening.